Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Well, let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Stephen Carroll and I'm joined by Bloomberg's breaking news editor, Louise Moon. Well, let's start, Louise, with one of the biggest deals in the wealth management scene. We're seeing a big deal involving Schroders.
Indeed, yes. So Schroders is being bought by Nuveen, which is a US investment manager, and that's for £9.9 billion. So it's a big deal. Obviously, Schroders is, one of the kind of biggest, most historic names on the London finance scene. It ends more than 2 centuries of independence for them. Obviously marks another foreign swoop for a London-based company. We've been seeing a lot of these companies either being bought out, going private, moving their listings elsewhere. This is kind of another example of that trend. But the Schroders brand itself will be retained. London will still be the combined group's headquarters outside of the US, and it will be the largest office. And then importantly for Schroders, what it does is it adds scale. It's if you look back at their share price over the past 5 years or so, it's fallen almost 25%. It's been really underperforming rivals in Europe. There's been a lot of criticism surrounding Schroders, centered upon, part of it is related upon its relatively high cost base. It's seen slower growth in its private markets units. There's been some criticism around it, and this deal adds a lot of scale, combining with the US company. In the release this morning, it was saying that it will create one of the world's largest active asset managers. It's going to have nearly $2.5 trillion of assets. So it's a big deal, creating a huge asset manager. And you could see the reaction from Schroders' share price. It soared at the open, soared 30%.
Let's turn next to the Dutch payments platform Adyen. Its shares, one of the biggest underperformers in Europe today, down 16% currently. What's going on?
Yeah, shares really plunging, at one point wiping out 6.6 billion euros in market value for them this morning. As you say, they are a payments company listed in Amsterdam. They've got huge clients like Uber, eBay. They've essentially pointed to softer revenue growth going forward. They're seeing now net revenue to grow up to 22%. Their previous guidance had said up to mid-20s, and they're saying this is all due to economic uncertainty. So as I say, a lot of those big clients are American. America accounts for almost a third of their business. So weaker dollar, slowing growth, less consumer spending in the US, which we saw earlier in the week with US retail data. And that's really weighing on their business. And so pointing to that kind of softer outlook going forward, which is pulling the shares down today.
Okay, and then in the luxury sector, Hermes, they've got it in the bag.
They have. Ending on a slightly more positive note. So sales at Hermes grew. This is in the fourth quarter. They had their fourth quarter results this morning. Mostly, as you say, due to strong demands for their Birkin bag. So that was kind of the key, but they did see gains across all markets. Most of their products essentially showing that they're resonating with luxury shoppers globally. So overall revenues were up 9.8%. That was above expectations. And as I say, they've been a bit of a standout for kind of weathering the storm that's been around luxury products. They've done a lot better than, for example, LVMH, one of their key rivals. The whole industry's been grappling with changing consumer habits, as I just mentioned, spending. There's tariffs, higher taxes. So it's been really grappling with a lot of that. But Hermes has done well in kind of catering to those exclusive clients. They keep items very scarce, like the Birkin bag, so that creates a lot of demand, and they're less, as I say, there's less kind of those aspirational customers. They're really catering to that top end, so they've kept that demand, and you can see that in their results this morning. So a strong day for Hermes.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.